Alright, so I just got asked a ton of questions about my bed frame that I just got done building. I posted pictures in about 3 van life groups, and people are asking me how I did it, what materials I used, and why I decided to have my bed up so high. So I'm just making this quick video to pretty much answer those questions. Okay, so to answer the question why my frame is up so high, I have that 30-gallon water tank right back there. That's the white thing that I need to make sure I had room for. I have an Oru kayak that I need to make sure I have room for. I have a bike I need to make sure I have room for. I want to do a storage cabinet underneath there as well for like clothes and other stuff. Not only that, but as far as headroom, that's not a priority for me. I was living out of my SUV for 2 years, so I had no room, like no headroom whatsoever. Then I was in the Navy for 4 years, so I had no headroom in a coffin rack, and that was completely fine with me. Also, I plan on doing a huge skylight pretty much, up top, so that it can actually open up, and that way I don't feel claustrophobic. So there's a whole lot of reasons why I don't mind that it's that high up and there's not a headroom. Storage was more of a priority for me in this build. Alright, so bear with me, my whole floor is a freaking mess. I'm working on a bunch of crap. Alright, so again, the reason why it's high is because of this water tank that's in front of you right now. It's a 30-gallon tank. I wanted to have it standing up versus laying flat, just because that means that I have more storage space behind it. I need to make sure that I can fit an Oru kayak in here, a bike, and then on this side I want to put all my, my batteries, and then I'm going to have a wall coming up from here to there, and I want to have like all of my like panels up there, my inverter, like just everything behind there, because it'll just make things a lot easier. Now when it comes to the water tank, again, I also had to raise it because I have to install this, and this needs to be higher than the water tank because this is how I fill my water tank when I'm out somewhere and I'm running out of water. So I needed to make sure that I could have this, essentially fit right there, and then either be level or a tad bit higher than this water tank. So that was another reason for that. Now, as far as building this, let me back up. So I'm in a 2018 Ram Promaster, and these right here are the main frames essentially for the van. So since I wanted to build my bed frame a lot higher, not that high, but a lot higher than this, I had to find another way to create another frame essentially, or yeah, whatever. So I took a steel bar from the depot, and I cut them up. So this was 48 inches. So I cut them up so that they fit on that frame to that frame. And what I did too to make it a little bit more sturdy is I installed it with, so I drilled through the frame, or the beam, obviously. But then when I got to this frame, and you can actually, let's see, I was going to do another one, but I decided to make my bed shorter. But I installed riv nuts. So that way the nut that I put through actually had more to grasp onto than just this metal bar and then that metal frame. So I have a riv nut, on this and then all the way at the bottom. So there's riv nuts in those holding those in place. Then I had to buy an L bar. Also had to cut it down to size to fit the size bed I wanted to make. And I drilled holes obviously in this to go onto this beam. I also installed a riv nut on this beam, again for more security and more for this to grip onto. Don't know if you can, you might not be able to see it from that angle. Oh, here, wait, there you go. So I installed riv nuts, so there's a lot more for it to grasp onto and everything, and just went down that way. And then the biggest reason why I chose these is, if you can't already tell, there's just a little lip So these can come off pretty freaking easy. There's a little lip, and that just sits really freaking nicely on this L bar. So I'm not wasting that much space. And then these bad boys were 10 bucks at Ikea. This is what it's called. And yeah, when you put 4 of these together, and then I'm gonna put a good piece of plywood on there, it actually held up my weight pretty well, just in that picture I'll show of me just putting a small, you know, scrap plywood on top. So really the weight bearing that I need is for me, you know, me and my dog, and he's 85 pounds. So I'm hoping that this will actually hold up to at least 200 pounds, maybe 300 if I ever get a freaking boyfriend, but my dog's pretty awesome, so I'm pretty good. But yeah, so this actually has worked out pretty damn well. Very, very basic. I've seen some where they've used these cross beams and went crazy with special brackets that you have to install and all this other stuff, and I just pretty much engineered this to really dumb crap down, essentially. So yeah, that is pretty much how I did it. If you do have any other questions, I can answer them for you, but I think that covers most of the questions that I was asked.